Hello children, today we are going to study lesson 28 of your English 1, that is Greedy Augustus Gloop. Okay children, this chapter or this story children has been adopted from Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. This is the name of the book and it is written by the author Roald Dahl. Okay. So this is a short part of that story. It's a very interesting story. You will like it. It's like a fairy tale. So let's start. Mr. Willy Wonka took the children and their parents into the chocolate room of his factory. So there is a person whose name is Mr. Willy Wonka and he has got a chocolate room, okay, in his factory, maybe a chocolate factory or something, and he has taken a family, means the children and their parents, into that factory. It was a beautiful valley and the bottom of which was a great brown river of rich, warm, creamy chocolate. So you see, there means this factory was in a valley, okay, and at the bottom of the valley there was a brown river. So have you seen any brown river? No, in reality we have not seen. And in brown river, what was flowing instead of water? Rich, warm, creamy chocolate. So imagine a river in which means liquefied form of chocolate is flowing. Imagine how delicious it would look, na? There was a waterfall which crashed down, churning and mixing the chocolate, and also in that river there was a waterfall. You understand? Jharna. Okay, waterfall was crashing down. Crashed means children to hit. Waterfall comes and hit the river only, na? So the water was coming from the waterfall and was crashing down the, and churning means to mix or to move fast, and mixing the chocolate. So the chocolate that was flowing in the river, the waterfall was coming down and it was mixing the chocolate that was flowing in the river. Dangling into the river was some enormous glass pipes which sucked the chocolate river and sent the brown chocolate to goodness knows where. Now dangling means children hanging, okay. So from the river, what was dangling? What was hanging? Was some enormous glass pipes. Enormous means children huge, big, okay. So there's some huge big glass pipes were hanging from the river, and what was these glass pipes doing? Which sucked the chocolate river, means it was kind of taking in, okay, which sucked the chocolate river, and they were taking in that chocolate, you can say, from the river, and where they were sending, God knows where, means where they were taking these chocolates, it was not known. Augustus Gloop quietly sneaked down to the river. Now there's a boy whose name is Augustus Gloop. Quietly sneaked down to the river, knelt on the river bank, and was scooping hot melted chocolate into his mouth as fast as he could. Now see, if you get to go near a river which is in which chocolate is flowing, you feel like eating it, right? In the same way, Augustus Gloop also quietly sneaked. Sneaked means secretly doing something when means expecting that no one is watching, quietly. Okay, so very quietly he sneaked down to the river. He means he sat on his knees. Knelt means sitting on knees, okay. So he sat down on his knees and he was on the river bank, means side of the river, and was scooping. Scooping means to take something or to lift something, okay. So he was trying to take the hot melted chocolate into his mouth as fast as he could. So he was eating it. He was trying to eat the hot melted chocolate as fast as he could. Oh no, please don't do that, cried out Mr. Wonka. So Mr. Willy Wonka, means who took them to this factory, he immediately said, no, you should not do that. Stop doing that. Don't eat that chocolate. His mother and father called to him to stop, but Augustus was deaf to everything except his enormous stomach. when Mr. Wonka stopped him from eating chocolate, then means Augustus Gloop's father and mother also tried to stop him and told him that you should not eat the chocolate. But Augustus was not listening. He was deaf to everything except his enormous stomach. It means that he was so eager to eat the chocolate that he was not listening to anyone. Only that he wanted to his enormous stomach means he only wanted to eat the chocolate. He wanted to fill his stomach with the chocolate. He was now lying full length on the ground with his head far out over the river, lapping up the chocolate like a dog. Now as he was eating, he was more and more curious to eat more and more. Till now he was sitting on his knees, means half bent, and now what he was doing, he was lying now full length on the ground, means he was lying on the ground full length, okay, and means in the prone position, that is on his stomach, with his head far out over the river, and means he was lying down over his on the stomach side, and he was lapping up the chocolate like a dog. Means he was lapping up the chocolate like a dog, like that dog you see, no, they lapping up means what? To eat fast. So when you give milk to dog or cat, they eat it or drink it using their tongue, right? So in the same way, this Augustus Gloop was also lapping up the chocolate like a dog. Means so much curious he was to eat those chocolate. Suddenly there was a shriek and then a splash, and into the river went Augustus Gloop, and in 1 second he had disappeared into the brown surface. Now what happened when he was not listening? What happened? There was a shriek. Shriek means loud sound, okay, and then a splash. Splash means when something falls in the water, it makes sound, no? So there was a something fell in the water, and there was a splash, and into the river went Augustus Gloop. So what was this splash for? Because Augustus Gloop, he fell, he just disappeared, went inside the river, and because of that only there was a shriek and then a splash, and he was disappeared into the brown surface. Means he went inside the river. Save him, screamed Mrs. Gloop. He'll drown, he can't swim. Now when Mrs. Gloop, his mother, saw that he has gone inside the river, she started screaming. Scream means shouting. He'll drown. Drown means one who can't swim. They go inside the river. But Augustus was being sucked closer and closer towards the mouth of one of the great glass pipes hanging in the river. Then all at once he was pulled under the surface and then into the mouth of the pipe. So Augustus was he was inside the river and he was sucked. Sucked means taken in closer and closer towards the mouth. Means he was going towards the one end of the glass pipe, the glass pipes which were hanging from the river. Then all at once he was pulled under the surface and then into the mouth of the pipe, and as he reached near one end of the glass pipe, and then immediately what happened, he was inside the pipe, was taken inside the pipe. The crowd on the bank waited breathlessly to see where he would come out. Now the crowd means the people who were standing on the bank, means his parents were there, then Mr. Willy Wonka was there, and the other people also. They were waiting breathlessly. Breathlessly means they were so anxious. They were they were worried, and they were watching that where this Augustus Gloop would come out. There he goes, somebody shouted, pointing upwards. So from pipe, where did he go? He was going upwards. Somebody pointed upwards, that side he is going. Turn the page. And sure, Augustus Gloop could be clearly seen shooting up through the pipe head first. So Augustus Gloop could be clearly seen shooting up, means from the pipe he was going up, upside, and the head came, means the head was coming out firstly. "Oh dear," said Charlie Bucket, "he's going to stick. By golly, he has stuck." Now there is another person whose name is Charlie Bucket. So what he's saying, he means by golly means, it is exclamation. Okay, it is used to express surprise. So they all were obviously very surprised, and Charlie Bucket told that he's going to stick. By golly, he has stuck, means he was going to stick to something. Now where he is going to stick, let's see. The chocolate swished around the boy in the pipe, and they could see it pushing up against him in a solid mass. So obviously it was in a chocolate river, so that chocolate all means was wrapped around his the body of the boy when he was in the pipe, and they could see it pushing up against him in a solid mass. And when he was coming out of the pipe, he was like a solid mass. Mass means a solid, you can say a body of something. And it was what thing? It was a chocolate. So it was all like a chocolate body. Woof! Up shot Augustus like a bullet in the barrel of a gun. So like the bullet comes out of the gun, so in the same way Augustus also came out of the pipe like a gun in such a speedy way. "He's disappeared," yelled Mrs. Gloop. So Mrs. Gloop was very worried. She was saying that he's disappeared. We cannot see him anymore. "Keep calm." Keep calm means be quiet, cried Mr. Wonka. "There is no danger whatsoever. Augustus has gone on a little journey, that's all. A most interesting little journey. But he'll come out of it just fine. You wait and see." So Mr. Wonka, he was knowing everything about it, so he told Mrs. Augustus' mother that you should not worry, and there's no danger. Your son will be all right, and he has just gone on a little journey, maybe some chocolate world or something like that, and it is a very interesting little journey. So when he will come back, he will tell you how interesting that journey was, and you should only wait and see. Okay, so this is a little part taken from that book Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, and it was written by Roald Dahl. Okay children, so this is the explanation of this passage, and next time we will see the book exercise. Thank you.